G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, on Sunday the 5th of July 2025, I'll be publishing an article titled Penny Wong and Labor's Protection of Angus Taylor and Barnaby Joyce and the failed $13 billion Murray-Darling Basin plan. And in a minute, I'll show you a video of Penny Wong putting pressure on a public servant in relation to prior corruption and her expectation that he deals with it. Well, we can say the same thing about the Labor Party and the fraud and theft in relation to the water buyback scheme, which was started under Penny Wong back in 2008. Now, the article starts off, Penny Wong and the Labor Party started the water buyback scheme, which has been rorted by the likes of Angus Taylor and Barnaby Joyce for $80 million in 2008 when Senator Penny Wong was the Minister for Climate Change and Water. We all know the saying, the standard you walk past is the standard you accept. And as we all know, the Labor Party has been happy to walk past all the corruption under the previous Liberal and National Party coalition government by setting up the fake National Anti-Corruption Commission. This article will focus on the water fraud and theft cover-up, and as a follow-up to my last article on the 29th of June 2025 titled National Leader David Littleproud's relative John Norman jailed over $20 million water fraud, and a video I published on the 1st of July 2025 titled NAC's failure to charge Angus Taylor and Barnaby Joyce for $80 million water fraud. As you'll see in the video I'm about to show you, Senator Penny Wong grilled a newly appointed department head and public servant in October 2020 over the corrupt $30 million Western Sydney Airport land deal, in effect demanding the public servant take responsibility for exposing and correcting the past corruption. I'll show you that video now.
There's misunderstandings between departments and the audit office as to what they're asking for.
Oh, come on. Really?
As in the scope of documentation and those sorts of things.
This is a pursuit, amongst other things, of a sale that is so far out, of a sale involving purchase price that is so far out of whack with every other valuation.
Senator, I don't consider that to be appropriate behaviour.
Oh, please.
And I'm deeply concerned about that, which is why I've instigated a whole series of activities.
I would have thought that's the least you could say, that you don't consider it to be appropriate behaviour. I mean, I actually find it gobsmacking, to be honest. Like I get people make mistakes, etc., but you read this audit report, you see a series, you see conduct which is extraordinary and outside of what any reasonable person would regard as appropriate action by officers. But worse, what it looks like is people tried to cover it up when the audit office came asking questions.
Senator, I agree with you.
Thank you. When did you become secretary?
In November of last year.
So this predates you?
Yes, Senator.
And there was no advice to you when you arrived about this?
No, Senator.
Do you think people tried to cover it up, Mr Atkinson?
Senator, I want to get to the bottom of what happened, which is why I've pulled in an independent auditor of my own so that I can get to the bottom of the facts. I'm trying to clean it up.
You're trying to clean it up.
If Labor's Senator Penny Wong expects newly appointed public servants to take responsibility for exposing and correcting past government corruption, then voters should expect Penny Wong and the Labor Party to take responsibility for exposing and correcting past government corruption, e.g. water fraud and theft. Senator Penny Wong and the start of the water buybacks in 2008. 2008, Senator Penny Wong, who is currently the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Leader of the Government in the Senate, was Minister for Climate Change and Water from December 2007 until March 2010 and started the Murray-Darling Basin water buyback scheme. There were some rumblings under Penny Wong's watch, as per a picture I'll put up on screen now by Peter Nicholson in 2008 titled Penny Wong Purchases Cheap Water Rights. And in the picture you can see is a picture of Penny Wong pointing to a cloud saying, "We paid $10 million for that one." Some articles from the time question the buyback scheme and how well it is being managed by Penny Wong and the government. In August 2008, the Sydney Morning Herald published an article titled Government Defends $350 million Queensland Water Buyback, which starts off, a $350 million water buyback in Queensland is part of the federal government's plan to improve flows in the Murray-Darling Basin, Water and Climate Change Minister Penny Wong says. The announcement follows reports $50 million spent earlier this year to secure 35 billion litres of water entitlements will return just 10 megalitres, the equivalent of 10 swimming pools, to the river system. The Australian Financial Review published an article in March 2010 titled Pennies from Heaven for Water Sellers, which starts off, for the Karbetza family, there will only ever be one penny Wong. When the Federal Water Minister needed a big deal to trumpet the government's commitment to the Murray-Darling Basin, the family's Taiwan pastoral company was a willing seller. What followed was the largest water trade in Australian history, a $3 million deal that was supposedly a win for taxpayers and the environment. But an analysis by the Australian Financial Review shows federal government paid at least $40 million premium for the Taiwan water licences. And it was not just the billionaire family and its patriarch, John Karbetza, who benefited from the taxpayer-funded water boom. Irrigators across the Murray-Darling Basin experienced a huge lift in prices last year when the government entered the market through its $3.1 billion buyback scheme. In 2012, under the federal Labor government, the introduction of the Murray-Darling Basin Plan in 2012 was a recognition that past attempts to share the water had not worked. A new whole-of-basin approach was needed to manage the basin's water resources in the national interest, including to meet Australia's international obligations. In 2017, Four Corners broadcast a story, Pumped, who was benefiting. People are profiteering. It's the biggest water grab in Australia's history, a grazier said. In Australia's most important river system, the water is so precious, it could be liquid gold. People want to get water in their hands because if you get water in their hands, that's big money, a grazier said. Stretching from Queensland to South Australia, billions of dollars in taxpayers' money has been poured into rescuing the rivers and streams of the Murray-Darling Basin to save it from environmental collapse. But nearly 5 years on from a landmark agreement to restore the river, something is wrong. We all hope because of the state of the Murray-Darling Basin that the Basin Plan will essentially take this patient, which was essentially in intensive care unit, out of the intensive care unit and be able to make it walk again. But essentially the Basin Plan is not working the way it was meant to work. And there's a link in the article to watch the Four Corners video if you want to. My article goes on to say in 2019, the $80 million Cayman Island fraud and theft by federal MPs Angus and Barnaby Joyce, which is outlined in the video I've embedded in the article I published on the 1st of July 2025, titled NAC's Failure to Charge Angus and Barnaby Joyce for the $80 million Watergate fraud. And I'll put a link to that video below this video on YouTube as well. My article goes on to say in 2021, Penny Wong published a video on her YouTube channel titled The Morrison Government Can't Be Trusted to Deliver Murray-Darling Basin Plan, where Penny Wong ripped into the then Scott Morrison federal government over their management of the Murray-Darling Basin Plan. That video is embedded in the article I'll publish on Sunday, so you can go to that article and watch that video. And it's worth watching because that's from 2021. It shows Penny Wong has still kept a strong interest in the Murray-Darling Basin Plan, even though she was no longer the Water Minister, the Environment Minister. My article goes on to say in 2024, The Conversation published an article in December 2024 titled A $13 billion 30-year flop landmark study reveals stark nature to halt Murray-Darling River decline, which says some $13 billion in taxpayer dollars and 30 years of policy reform have failed to arrest the devastating decline in the health of Australia's most important river system, the Murray-Darling Basin, new research shows. The 4-year study released today involved 12 scientists from Australia's leading universities and draws on data from 1980 to 2023. It is the most comprehensive report card to date on the government policies to protect the Murray-Darling. We found expensive and contentious reforms, including the once vaunted Murray-Darling Basin Plan, have mostly failed to improve outcomes for people and nature along the river system. The result is deeply alarming for a natural asset so fundamental to Australia's environmental, cultural and economic well-being. The Murray-Darling River system starts in southern Queensland, winds through New South Wales and Victoria and reaches the sea near Adelaide in South Australia. Historically, state governments have allowed too much water to be taken from the system, primarily to irrigate crops. This has caused extensive environmental damage, such as toxic blue-green algae blooms, dramatic falls in bird and fish populations, and undrinkable town water supplies, to name just a few. In 2023, the federal Labor government enacted Restoring Our Rivers laws to increase the return of water to the environment. This was a very important step, but there's still a long way to go. The Murray-Darling Basin Plan is due for review in 2026. Clearly, monitoring to date has been inadequate. The federal government also set up the National Anti-Corruption Commission in 2023, which has been a total failure. So I have no confidence in the Restoring Our Rivers laws they enacted in 2023. Over the last 18 years, during the course of the water buyback scheme, Labor and the Coalition have shared power for 9 years each. Labor from 2007 until 2013 and 2022 until the present. And the Liberal and National Party coalition, 2013 until 2022. So one party cannot blame the other for the cover-up of the corruption and failings of the Murray-Darling Basin Plan. Both Labor and the Liberal Party and National Party coalition have had the opportunity to fix the problems but have failed. What the above article shows is that the Murray-Darling Basin Plan is a mess and billions of dollars spent on the water buyback scheme is money down the drain. While the government is reviewing the Murray-Darling Basin Plan, you must ask, why isn't the government reviewing the billions of dollars wasted on the water buyback scheme and investigating the fraud and theft? Well, people like Barnaby, Joyce and Angus Taylor committed the $80 million Watergate fraud. It is Penny Wong and Labor who have driven the getaway car with the fake National Anti-Corruption Commission and allowed them to get away with it. Now, make sure you visit my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia, and read that article. Got a lot of links and other videos in the article. You can click on the links for further information and watch those videos. Make sure you do your bit and help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media. Please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button. That way you get notified every time I publish a new video. And Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel. And I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself, so please support my Patreon account or PayPal account. You can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. All helps out in a big way. The link for the Patreon account and PayPal account are below this video on YouTube and also my website. Or you can go to my website and click on the donations page for other donation options. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.